Okay, this video is going to be about kind of some militant vegans that I see who are quite polarized and like absolute about it. And yeah, the kind of ones, I mean, like who'll like pick outside McDonald's and shout at people or whatever. The ones that to maybe a lot of like meat eaters will seem like they're a bit crazy, right? And I'm going to say that they're not crazy. So these people aren't crazy, right? What it is that the way they see the world, their actions are like completely rational if you share that outlook, okay? So if you woke up tomorrow and saw the world the way they do, you'd probably be the same, okay? So like imagine if you woke up tomorrow and you're in a world where like society on the whole like completely accepts cannibalism. Okay, and we've got like farms that like where people are farmed, or maybe it's something like convicts get like chopped up into steaks. Okay, like now in this world you share the view that we do now, that cannibalism is wrong. Okay, so you'd probably find yourself in a little bit of a nightmarish world. Might even be a bit scary. You'd probably be angry. And one thing I think you'd almost certainly do is like kind of run around like as much as you can, screaming at people like, wake up, this is wrong, we can't do this, you know. And basically you'd probably find yourself, I think, doing a lot of what these like so-called militant vegans do. But like how effective would it be? Okay, so my argument is that for these people, when they walk into like just a normal supermarket to go and buy whatever it is vegans buy in supermarkets, and they walk past like the meat aisle, they probably find it quite difficult, and it's probably quite unpleasant. It'd be the same as, like I said before, how we would feel if we walked in and there's like human steaks there, right? But this worldview like isn't shared by everybody, and my argument is that it's going to be impossible for them to be effective, or it won't be as effective if their goal is to just convince everybody to see the world the same way that they do, because the society in general doesn't share their view, and I think it's a limited amount of people who will ever convert to seeing the world the way they do, the meat is murder thing. It's a limited number, okay, and it's also like finite in time as well, because we can see that like today, not everybody that becomes a vegan stays a vegan for life. I've not looked into the stats, but I think quite a few of them, they're vegan for like a period in their life, and then they end up like eating occasional meat again. So yeah, like maybe a way to be more effective, like in like real world results, isn't to try to convert everyone to seeing the world the way they do, because it's a big step for anyone to take, and maybe impossible for a lot of people to take. Maybe a better way is to go, okay, well, how can we sort of have a real life impact? So okay, how about we get behind like reforming agriculture so there's less cruelty, okay? Something like that. We can work with people that don't see the world the same way they do. They can find a common ground then, and maybe move forward with a bit more success, like end result success. Or they could lobby for like a tax on meat, or all this kind of stuff to like reduce the amount of meat being eaten. But it seems to me anyway that the main focus for a lot of these people is to change the way people think. What they seem to want to do is to convince people to see the world as they do. So it's kind of like someone who believes in God. Like for them it's super real, they can see God everywhere, and they want to convince someone else to be able to see the world the same way as them. Okay, so another example of this sort of approach would be with the abortion, sort of the militant anti-abortion people. So these are the ones who like will go and stand outside of abortion clinics and like shout at people and throw paint on doctors and shit like this, throw red paint on them, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, like they're in their world, in their worldview, like basically aborting like a unborn child is murdering a human baby. Okay, for them there's no difference. So if you can put yourself in their shoes, imagine you lived in a world now where it was fine to take your 1-year-old baby to the doctor and have them put down, and that was acceptable. You'd probably find yourself feeling quite strongly about it, being maybe as angry as these guys are, and maybe you'd find yourself outside of these places where they killed 1-year-old babies, shouting at mothers and throwing paint on doctors. So yeah, like these people aren't crazy at all. They're just basically doing the rational behaviour that anyone would do if they saw the world the same way that they do. But again, with them, like, how effective are they going to be by just doing that? Like, by trying to intimidate people, I don't think they're very effective at all. I think maybe a more effective way would be to go, okay, well, how can we have a real life impact to reduce abortion? And it could be something like, okay, we're going to fund big programs to go around schools and educate people so that they don't get in this trouble in the first place. Or we're going to like subsidize, we're going to pay for contraceptives or the morning after pill, and we're going to go around all the communities where we've discovered most of the abortions occur, and we're going to hand them out to everybody like for free, or we're going to subsidize it, we're going to bankroll it. That might be more successful overall, because yeah, like there's still going to be people that don't see abortion as murder in any way, and never will. Like, I mean, it's been a while since I've actually bumped into like a vegan activist or whatever, and I'll be interested to actually talk to one in real life, because one of the main questions I want to know is, would it be okay for me to, would this person want me to, instead of becoming vegan, just cut down on how much meat I have? Like, would I be okay if I didn't see the world the way they do, but I only ate meat on Sunday? Would that make them happy? Or is what they really want is to kind of wake people up to see the world that they live in as the reality, as in like that meat is murder? I'm not sure that completely makes sense, what I'm trying to communicate there, but hopefully it does to someone. Alright, cool.